Hi, hello there, and welcome to our playthrough of Resident Evil. I'm Matthew Reynolds, Digital Spies Gaming Editor, and I'm joined by Ben.
Hello.
Hello, Ben. How you doing? You okay?
Yeah, not too bad.
Are you ready to discuss some Resident Evil?
I am ready to discuss some Resident Evil.
That's my terrible Resident Evil voice that they play at the time.
That is a terrible. No.
But yeah, this is how best to describe this? This is the remake of a remaster of the original Resident Evil.
I think
This-
you better
yes.
take a look at this.
Yeah. So if you know your Resident Evil games, which I assume you do.
Yes.
This is the GameCube game that was the remake of the original Resident Evil, which was released in 1996.
Jill.
So,
See if
and this
you
is
can
coming
find any
to
other
consoles today. So it's coming to like PS4, Xbox One, 360, PS3, PC. And it looks really cool. It's basically the same game, but they've basically revamped the visuals, so it looks better.
It does look a lot nicer.
Looks really good, yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is about the original GameCube version, it was fashioned after the original GameCube games. Sorry, the original Resident Evil games with pre-rendered backgrounds. So they age really, really well. And what the big thing they've done is the character models. So you can see it up close there. The character models actually look really, really good even today. So that's one of the biggest things they've done, and they've kind of worked around that in really clever ways. I think obviously the character models are really upscaled, really well done. Again, the backgrounds looked really great then, they look really great now. It was originally in 4:3, and this is now playing in widescreen. So certain scenes will actually pan when you move,
Oh, that's cool.
which is a kind of a nice workaround.
Yeah.
As for there's a bunch of other kind of like improvements we'll come to in a sec, but I thought I'd like mention this is an iconic scene where Jill first encounters the zombie. So the GameCube version is a real remake of the original, but it adds loads of little bits and bobs, but it kind of stays true to the same beat. So this is basically a few minutes into the game, Jill and Barry coming into the mansion, having a explore, Jill finding the zombie, running out, Barry dispatches him with relatively ease.
Take care of it.
There you go, a few slugs, and he's down. The layout of the game is kind of is a remix. Like if you've played the Resident Evil game back in 1996, then there's a lot of similarities. Like there's the dog corridor, there's like the room where there's like the different paintings on the wall with the crows up above,
Right.
that sort of thing. But there's loads of like the way you encounter them are very different. The interiors are just completely redone. Yeah, it's a really like interesting, probably one of the best remakes I've seen, reapproaches I've seen, really. I think for a game generally. So there's obviously a visual overhaul is a big part of it, and I think it looks really great. It stands out well today.
Yeah, definitely.
One of the biggest things they've done is they've changed the controls. So you can see that I'm kind of like erratically kind of turning on the spot.
Yeah.
That would never happen in the original Resident Evil, because the big thing with the original Resident Evil games is like the tank controls. Which were you a fan of those?
I think they've probably not aged that well. I think at the time they were fine.
Yeah.
But I think like nowadays with modern games and the modern controls, they wouldn't fly nowadays.
Yeah.
So I think it's good that they've kind of redesigned the controls for 2014.
Yeah, so how it works, and you've just seen there, as I was kind of going around the corner between the two scenes, I was kind of flicking back and forth, because how the new controls work is that you move in the direction that you want to. So instead of like, originally tank controls were like, you move forward, based on kind of what Jill's position, so you move forward, Jill moves forward, relative to where she's looking. In this, if you move forward, it's where Jill is going to be positioned on the screen. That kind of makes sense.
Right.
So it means that when you turn corners and the way this game, the camera angles work, you can just bounce back and forth, which I think is quite frustrating. But
Does it feel weird? Does it take a while for you to adapt to the new controls then, because you're so used to the old ones?
a little bit, because I first played, because it's basically these new controls are optional, and so you can switch the old controls whenever you want. You just press pause and do that. And actually, what I want to do in a sec is actually show you the old controls. I think I'm going to be doing it now. So you can take a look kind of like how the control screen measures up. But yeah, basically I played with tank controls, and I found that actually playing, doing the combat section, so the combat is still a bit fiddly. There you go, there's controls on screen there. So you can switch at any time, that's how it kind of works. Like, so you can aim up and down, you can like pan left and right when you're aiming your gun. That is, I find easy with the tank controls, and that's still available on the D-pad, even if you've got the new controls on.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of nice.
Oh yeah, that is cool.
Otherwise, yeah, I feel it's a lot quicker, like you can spin on the spot, you can just kind of like turn on a dime, go the other way. So you can just kind of find yourself, like when you switch camera, you have to kind of readjust slightly, which is quite unfortunate. If you've been watching this, you see that I'll jump into menu screens. This game is very much old school Resi, in the sense that you've got, here you go, you're picking up a dagger right now. There's a limited amount of inventory space, so you've got to constantly kind of monitor how much you're picking up at any time. I don't know if you were a fan of that or a fan of that.
I like that aspect of it, yeah.
Yeah, it's very kind of like an old school thing, and it actually that goes through this entire game. Even though this was a remake of an original, and I think they tried to obviously modernise how it looked, it's still a very old school playing game.
Trying to be faithful to the original
Yeah.
content, the original game.
Yeah, which is what I really appreciated about that GameCube original, is that it's like, this is very much a Resident Evil game. So you have to constantly think, okay, should I go and save this typewriter now because there's only a limited amount of space I have, or do I kind of keep going to the next space?
Yeah. I mean, they they're right not to mess with that, because that is such a core part of what made that game memorable.
Yeah.
Because it was such an integral feature. So
yeah, and that's what was really great about the GameCube original. And this game is, apart from like the visual overhaul, sort of the visual, I say overhaul, it's very much like updating. Apart from kind of like there's little things like, yeah, it plays in widescreen, there's 5.1 surround sound, can't remember what I've done, the controls. It's the exact same game, which is exactly what it needs to be. Because I think personally this is the best Resident Evil game. Like, I think technically Resident Evil 4 is, and that's, I know you, probably one of the best games of all time. It's very seminal. It kind of changed the way action adventure games played.
Yeah.
I know you disagree with that in some ways.
Yeah. It's a good game.
Yeah, but in terms of how important it is, you're.
It may have changed the genre for the worse. It's my opinion, probably.
Possibly. I don't know. It definitely changed it. I think Resident Evil 4 is the best playing game, but this is the best Resident Evil game by far. This is as kind of pure as it gets. I think it's very much. And if you play it now, it's very like it's extremely well paced in terms of like, I don't know. It feels like it kind of gives you enough breadcrumbs where you know where you're going. There's no hints. There's no on-screen like prompts or anything like that. Things just in the environment, that sort of thing. So that's very interesting. That it kind of retains that, and it plays really well even today. So that I really like about it. It does the GameCube remake also introduced various other things. So there was Crimson Head zombies. So this is concept you have to burn zombies.
Yeah.
Once you kill them. I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah, vaguely.
So yeah, if you don't burn them, they come
back alive.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Which is and they come back like faster, stronger. They can come through doors, and it's terrifying. So that's really cool. Yeah, inventory management is still there. It's just I was playing this. This is obviously pre-release. This is not coming out until like early 2015, and I've always had a fondness for the GameCube version, and I was really happy at how well it stood up.
Yeah.
Because I remember playing that game loads and loads, and as I was playing this, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that item being over there, item over there. Yeah, it's a really, really good game. I think actually in some regards it doesn't hold up as well. Like, I think the inventory management is frustrating. I think that's part of the challenge and part of the appeal. But it's also kind of like, I think you have to get used to again. And also, the inventory is difficult. The saves thing, I died very early on because I forgot to save and had to restart the game over.
Right.
So kind of having to learn all that stuff again. But it's part of the appeal, and it's part of kind of its old school charm. And I think as games kind of nowadays kind of call back to that kind of old school approach, like you look at Dark Souls, you look at like Volga the Viking or whatever, like they're very much like modern games that are out today. Take a lot of lessons from how games used to be, and that's what this GameCube version did, and this is the same game.
I feel like this is a remake done right, because you see a lot of times where remakes are done and maybe it's not as like good as the original version, but it seems like here they've not touched. I mean, they've made improvements where they needed to, but they didn't screw up the formula. They didn't screw up anything that was like absolutely core to the experience. Yeah,
it's basically the GameCube version did all those things, and this new remaster of the GameCube version is basically that. I think the visuals are actually really, really great. There are some. It's not final code. I don't know if it's actually final entirely, but like some objects to have like kind of textures that are a little bit rough, like they're a bit blocky.
Yeah.
Whereas I think they probably prioritised kind of how characters look over other things, but it stands out really well otherwise. I think it's a really, really good job, and I'm still holding out to play the full thing, because I think the first hour or so I played was really well paced still. Whether that kind of extends out, I remember it being like a game from start to finish, being absolutely great. So hopefully that's the case, but we'll see when it comes out early 2015. So you can wait till then. That's out on like PS4, Xbox One. Those versions are 1080p. I think they scaled down to 720 on older consoles.
Right.
It's on PC as well.
That makes sense.
It's digital only as well. So this is very much like a buy on downloadable stores, that sort of thing, which is cool. You didn't play the original?
I played the GameCube one for a little bit. I never finished it.
Yeah.
I think, but I didn't play it when it came out. I played it a few years later. So by that point, I felt like you know the tank controls took a bit too much to get used to.
Yeah.
So I kind of gave up on it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But knowing that, I think the controls is the most appealing part of it. The fact that you know, you can switch between the old and the new controls, and you know, the new ones, you know, they feel more natural for the current generation. So it's something that I would be definitely interested to maybe check out and experience it properly.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with the controls in particular, that's the thing I'm most curious about in terms of how it will come across in the full game. Because the first hour, I didn't still quite get, like, I could play it fine, and I think it's slow paced enough that, you know, if there's a zombie coming at you, you can fumble up just slightly as you're adjusting, and you'll still be okay because everything moves really slow and it's a very slow paced game. But like, just in terms of general navigation, would it get annoying, like as you turn around a corner and it changes camera angle, but you still move in a certain direction, so you move back around the camera and it keeps flicking back and forth. That happened quite a few times.
I feel like that, I mean, it's all speculative, but that's something that probably wouldn't necessarily go away after 5-6 hours of playing the game.
Yeah, possibly.
In theory, anyway.
Yeah, we'll see. But there's always tank controls. There's always, like, I don't know. It might just be that might be there for there's something that you can't get used to, or you can't the way the controls are built, or you might get used to it. I don't know. We'll see when the full thing comes out, and we'll do like a full review, etc., and establish whether that is the case. But otherwise, I'm really excited to play this full thing. Again, huge fan of the GameCube original. Probably the best, purest Resident Evil game. So the fact that they are bringing this back, making it really accessible on downloadable consoles, it looks great.
They don't do horror games like these anymore.
They don't. No, certainly. I think horror games have come back in a big way, but this is very much like, you know, just bringing it back. So yeah, that's us. That's Resident Evil, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks very much for watching.
Great.
Cheers, Ben.